What's up, my peeps, and welcome to part 2, and we kick it off in a major way with a suicide dive to the outside on Ambrose. So this is part 2 of my simulation for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship ladder match that's going to take place this Sunday between Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose. And also my detailed prediction. Now, there's a table right here. You can ignore that. There's no table right there. I'm going to go ahead and just set that to the side. For some reason, in 2K15 on Xbox One and PS4, you can play a one-on-one TLC match, but you can't play a one-on-one ladder match. I don't understand how, that's not possible. Maybe it's not as simple as just taking out the table. I don't know. So, anyways, this match, I'm looking forward to it. I think it's going to be a great match. Ambrose versus Rollins have always put on some great matches. I mean, even the match at Elimination Chamber, I thought that was a good match. The ending, maybe could have been better with it like a pin or submission, but basically they've never had a bad match. And when you add the ladder match stipulation to that, this really has potential to be the match of the night. This or the Money in the Bank ladder match. It's really hard to mess up a ladder match. It's really hard to have a bad ladder match. That's about as hard as making John Cena tap out. It's just impossible. So, that aside, I'm looking forward to it, like I said, but I don't know how I feel about Ambrose being in this match. I mean, I'm glad that he's in the main event, and, that it's against Seth Rollins, and he's in a title match, but I wanted Dean Ambrose to win Money in the Bank. I really wanted Ambrose as Mr. Money in the Bank this year, and for him to cash it in on Seth Rollins, get payback on Rollins, and last year in Money in the Bank, he was about to win it until Kane came in and stopped him from winning, allowing Seth Rollins to win the briefcase. So I really wanted to see him in the match, but once I saw the Elimination Chamber, the ending of the main event where Ambrose had won by disqualification, and also he had the champ beat 1, 2, 3, and also took the championship, I was like, yeah, I think there's going to be a rematch at the next pay-per-view. Because the guy's got the champion's belt, and he had him beat, and he did actually beat him by disqualification, so he's kind of entitled to a rematch, and Seth Rollins will want his, championship back. So now we've got the match, and I'm going to say this until, I don't know, SummerSlam, or really until Brock Lesnar comes back. Until Brock, and I've said this in, I think, the past 2 or 3 prediction game videos. Until Brock comes back, I highly doubt that anybody is going to take the title away from Seth Rollins. It can't happen. I mean, Brock still has unfinished business with Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins took the championship away from Brock without actually pinning Brock. Seth Rollins prevented Brock from getting his rematch the following night by running away from him, so Brock's pissed, and once he comes back, which he will be soon, probably, maybe even the Monday after Money in the Bank, at least that's what I heard, so Brock's coming back soon, and until he gets that match, championship match against Seth Rollins, I do not see anybody else taking the title from Rollins. Not saying Brock's going to take the title from Rollins, just saying that until the Beast, the one in 21-1, comes back and faces off against him for the title, whether he wins, loses, or whatever, I don't see anybody beating Rollins. It would be like when Edge came back in, I think it was 2010 or 2011. Whenever Edge had that injury, when he was supposed to be in a tag team with Chris Jericho, actually I think they were in a tag team. They were tag team champs. Edge got injured, and Chris Jericho talked trash about Edge once he was injured, talking about how he was weak, this and that, and then got another tag team partner in the Big Show, and then Edge came back at the Rumble and won the Rumble and faced off against Jericho. It would be like if Edge came back, won the Rumble, and at that time, Jericho had won the championship from The Undertaker at the Elimination Chamber. So the pay-per-view after the Rumble. And so it was perfect. You had Edge, returning from injury and going after his former tag team partner who was talking trash about him while he was away, while he was injured, behind his back. Now, imagine all of that, except instead of Jericho winning the title at the Elimination Chamber, somebody else wins the title. I don't remember who was in that Elimination Chamber match apart from Taker and Jericho? I don't remember. So let's say, I don't know, maybe Dolph Ziggler was in that match? Probably not. Let's say Dolph Ziggler had won the title in that Elimination Chamber. Then Edge comes back, ignores Jericho, who's been talking trash about him all this time, and then just faces off against the new champion, Dolph Ziggler, at WrestleMania. And then they just, I guess, ignore, you know, the perfect, you know, storyline between the two for the belt, Jericho and Edge. It'd kind of be like that. Also, the Money in the Bank ladder match winner, or at least who I think is going to win, if he wins the match, Roman Reigns, I think he ties into this too. You know, behind me thinking that Seth Rollins is going to retain here. Because there's two people after Rollins. Two people, well actually three people, Ambrose is included. But recently there's two people that really have been going after Rollins, or, you know, have been wanting some payback on Rollins. And that's, of course, Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns. Because when Seth Rollins cashed in that briefcase, while he did take the title away from the champ Brock Lesnar, he also took the chance from Roman Reigns to win that title when he cashed in. And so it's just the perfect payback, you know, for Roman Reigns to win that Money in the Bank briefcase and cash it in on Seth Rollins, the same guy who cashed in on, not on Roman Reigns, but in the match Reigns was in, and pinned him to take that opportunity away from Reigns. Well, I don't know if I'd say I'll take this opportunity away, because Reigns did get the opportunity to face off against Brock, and he did face off against him, but basically, if Seth Rollins wouldn't have cashed in, then, at least in Roman Reigns' mind, he would have won the championship, even though Brock Lesnar had just F5'd him before Seth Rollins came in and cashed in the briefcase, but, you know, Brock was too tired to capitalize on it, so who knows what would have happened. So yeah, Reigns winning, think about it. I mean, Reigns winning the briefcase, and then let's say Seth Rollins faces off against Brock Lesnar at, I don't know, Battleground or SummerSlam? Probably SummerSlam. But I hear Brock might be competing at Battleground or might be there. So I'm not sure about that, but, you know, imagine Brock facing off against Seth Rollins at SummerSlam. You know, it's Brock invoking his rematch clause. And then Roman Reigns, Money in the Bank winner, goes ahead and does exactly what Seth Rollins did. He cashes in during the match. He spears Seth Rollins and does a double spear to Brock Lesnar and Seth Rollins and pins Rollins and wins the title. It would be the perfect, like, payback, I guess, story or, you know, outcome for Reigns. And I actually think that could very well happen. Actually, it's what I see happening when it comes time for Reigns to cash in that briefcase. You see, if you go back, like a couple videos back, a couple prediction game videos back, I said that at SummerSlam, I see it being Seth Rollins versus not Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins versus Brock Lesnar, or Seth Rollins versus Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns in a triple threat match. Now, at that time, I didn't think Reigns was, you know, I didn't think about Reigns maybe winning the Money in the Bank briefcase and making it a triple threat that way. I thought maybe Roman Reigns, you know, wins some match, the More Contenders match or something like that, and somehow gets put in Brock Lesnar's rematch clause, which I don't think Brock Lesnar would be too happy about. But anyways, now that they've got Reigns in this Money in the Bank ladder match, then the triple threat really writes itself. Reigns wins Money in the Bank, goes ahead, cashes in during Brock versus Seth at SummerSlam, and makes sure that he pins Seth Rollins and not Brock, so that way, while Brock doesn't win the title from Rollins, he's not the one to get pinned. He doesn't get pinned in the process, you know, of losing or whatever. So that way, he's still undefeated. He still hasn't been pinned since his win over CM Punk. So, going back to this match, for the past 2 weeks, Seth Rollins has been talking about how he doesn't need J&J or Kane or the Authority to win his matches, and that he can do it all on his own. And so, what I'm wondering is that actually going to happen? Are we going to see Seth Rollins do it on his own, or is J&J and Kane going to interfere? What do you guys think? I know a couple people have been complaining that Seth Rollins, you know, keeps on having people interfering, and that, you know, he's booked to look weak because he always needs interference to win his matches. And since he's going to be facing off against Brock soon, I think he's actually going to do this one on his own to go ahead and go into his match with Brock looking strong. So I'm going to go ahead and say Seth Rollins does it on his own. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. So that's pretty much it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, you can click that like button down below. And with that said, I'm out, guys. See ya.